Some of us do not see the signs because we are...
Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, whoever's watching, welcome back. ESL One Hamburg qualifiers from China continue. This is game number 2 of this best of 3 in the semi-finals between LFY and LGD Gaming. As we get ourselves into this wonderful match, just do a little recap of game number 1. LFY had Bloodseeker and Sniper. They stomped the first 20 minutes. Struggled a little bit to break high ground against maybe Shadow Fiend and Arme CK, but... it was pretty smooth sailing, to be perfectly honest. Pretty good draft from LFY, gotta say. They had LGD's number, but now it's time to see what LGD have to answer the absolute monstrosity that LFY brought to the table last game. They ban out the Inflame Nature's Prophet, remove the Night Stalker. This leaves in the Puck, the AA, Earthshaker and Nyx are gone as well, and now LGD, they have to decide. Do we take the Earth Spirit and give it to Victoria again? Is that something they want to do? Do we go for the Sand King? Do we go for the Shadow Shaman? There's lots of openers that you can maybe think about going for, but of course, if you don't take the Earth Spirit now, that leaves it for LFY to give to Arfu, who is an absolute god. So they start with the Yao Ancient Apparition, not going to be the Winter Wyvern this game. And their second hero, I mean, honestly, it could be a Void here. AA Void is a pretty strong opener. I'm going to bring up my little hero list so I can visualize the heroes that are going to be coming out. What do we have? So Puck first picked by LFY. What do we want? I mean, you could go AA Batrider as well if you want to go down that direction. AA Veno is another one. We don't see too much Necro being first picked by LGD, and it will be the Earth Spirit. It took them a while to think about it. You know, there are a few options out there. Where do we want to go? But taking the Earth Spirit out of the hands of Arfu is pretty much always a good idea. I would like to see an FY Void this game, though. Or maybe even an Arme Void. He's probably one of the better one-roll Void players in the world, honestly, Arme. He is an incredibly talented player. Outside of that, you know, signature heroes for him, the Chaos Knight, the Terrorblade is a big one. LGD. Basically heroes that allow them to win fights or just control the map in such a drastic way. Oracle for LFY now. Fortune's End, a great little ability. Going to be able to dispel off a couple of cool things from LGD, but also the False Promise will be able to keep people alive when they're focused down by the Earth Spirit and AA combos. But now we get into the second phase, banning time. Death Prophet, a big one. China loves the Oracle Death Prophet combination. You might not be too afraid of it when you have an AA Earth Spirit. You've got, you know, lots of control, and if you add one hero with burst damage, you can definitely, you know, nuke the DP down. Even through something like a False Promise, but Sand King's going to be the ban. Remove that from the hands of Arfu, as he was so good with it in the previous game. There's the Void ban, so we're not going to see Arme on one of his signature heroes, unfortunately. Weaver has been another big hero for China. We're seeing a lot of teams, as they draft through, kind of, you know, understand that they've got a lot of kind of AoE teamfight abilities, but very few single target stuns or disables or ways to control the Weaver up. So Weaver and Storm very often get banned out in the second phase. Even Ember to some extent as well, another hero that a couple of the Chinese teams do love to run. But yeah, you'll notice the big difference here between, you know, Europe, NA, China is Necro just doesn't get picked as a high priority. Because you pick Necro and in China the opponents just pick Doom. They pick Doom and they Doom Necro, and you're like, okay, well, what do? I can't cast spells. I can't really do anything at all. Sven taken out. Very, very rarely do we see a game without Sven at all. A great hero to go along with the AA, but out comes the Magnus from LGD. Now, this is something that we saw yesterday from eHome, was a Magnus PA combo. CTY and Faith Bian were the PA and Magnus respectively, and they did have some really, really sick plays. Actually nearly defeated IG Vitality in one of the games. They did lose 2-0 overall, but they nearly brought things back. They nearly drew the series with some pretty sick plays, but unfortunately wasn't to be. LGD, I've not seen them run Magnus in quite some time, though. You know, it's one of those heroes that really has been unfashionable, basically. Very good if you're up against a team that likes to dogpile in onto a hero. You know, you see the puck blink in with a waning rift, with a dream coil. And when that dream coil is down onto 2 or 3 people, you'll have another hero as that second wave just come on through and try and do damage in. And that's where a big RP can land, when heroes collapse in on a target. So LGD likely to have some kind of 1.5 or 2 core lineup here. Try and get as much utility as you can for that one big target to buff up with the Empower, whether it is an anti-mage or a PA, an Ember Spirit, whatever it may be. Juggernaut is, of course, one of the old classic ones. Troll Warlord, not too bad here either. Not just a good pick for LGD, actually, but also a good block pick against LFY. They've got Oracle False Promise, which is super sick with Troll when he has lifesteal, because he just, hits people with his axes. Starts stealing lives. Gets all that HP regen back and pops himself to full HP. It's actually a pretty ridiculous combo. Slardar, the third pick for LFY. Maybe Arfu's hero here as the roaming 4, but we'll see exactly what they do with it. I'm not sure if Inflame plays too much of the Slardar. Would be expecting him to maybe play the Puck instead. Now, Drow Ranger is still in with Puck Oracle. We don't see much of it in China. I kept talking about it yesterday, but I think we've only seen 1 Drow through the qualifiers. You see the lineups kind of get to the 4th pick, and you're like, ranged hero, Puck, Prophet, Oracle, Dazzle, whatever. You got a couple of guys that Drow Ranger could really buff up quite nicely, and they just don't pick it. They just don't pick the Drow. They much prefer picking something like a Terrorblade, a Troll, more stable carries that offer you similar tool sets to a Drow Ranger. Obviously not the same amount of global damage for your ranged heroes, but much more solid tower taking capabilities and much more solid mid-game team fighting is probably the most important thing there when picking something like the Troll Warlord. We could still see the Death Prophet, of course, as we mentioned, as the Oracle was picked. That has been a big favorite of these Chinese teams. With that False Promise, just to keep the DP alive when she's pressuring so far forward into these Tier 1 and Tier 2 towers. We're going to see them... Oh, Medusa. Interesting. So Medusa mid has come back in a pretty big way in China. Very tanky, still going for the kind of Phase Boots, Aquila, Blade Mail builds. Usually good against illusion carries. Being able to build Aghanim Scepter on the Medusa is very, very sick. But also pretty sustainable against heroes that like to roam into mid lane. Against an Earth Spirit, you look for heroes like Queen of Pain, like Puck, who can maybe blink or jaunt away from the rolling boulder, or they've got ways to just escape from the little ganks coming in. As Clinks is the final pick from LFY. Another hero that we've seen picked a little bit here and there. I can't remember who was doing it the other day, but was it Vici Gaming Thunder? I believe it was them. I think it was Vici Gaming Thunder against LFY in the PGL Open. I can't remember. It was definitely that series. It was one of the 2 teams. It might have been LFY themselves. But I've been picking Clinks to try and deal with these roaming heroes, because once you hit level 6 or 7, you'll have a Soul Ring, an Aquila, maybe a Medallion, but you'll have a Blightstone definitely. You go play in the enemy jungle, you're hard to gank, you're hard to roam into, you open up one of the lanes for your supports, or maybe even your off-laner to come and freely farm to get one of their key items. But you just apply so much pressure into the enemy jungle, into enemy lanes, and squishy heroes like Earth Spirit and AA, who like hiding in the fog and lurking around looking for these big ice blasts or rolling boulders. Clinks can scout them, and he can also find maybe a potential solo kill. As LGD, they do go for the TB. Arme's signature hero. We'll maybe see the Mask of Madness come out this game. Maybe. Could just be the normal Aquila Dragonlance into Manta, but Arme does like his Mask of Madness. Very, very much so. How do we rate these drafts? FY Magnus with a Terrorblade. So they do have 2 cores. Maybe we'll be playing that Queen of Pain in the mid lane. They're not going to go for some kind of utility hero mid, which maybe I thought they would do. But they've got some good combos. They're not like fully reliant on the RP. You know, we saw eHome last night with the Magnus PA, and they were very, very reliant on hitting a 3 or more man reverse polarity to get the PA to actually do any damage in team fights. This time around, RP, it's more of that kind of threat. You know, don't group up, don't collapse in onto too many heroes. But LFY, they've got 3 ranged cores this game, right? Sniper, not Sniper, dear lord, Sniper was last game. Clinks. Clinks is the word that I wanted. Clinks, Medusa, as well as the Puck. So yeah, it's going to be Inflame Puck, and like we thought, Afu on the Slardar. This is a throwback to his Southeast Asian days back on WG. You know, we saw all of the Slardar picked in the 4-roll back then, about a year ago. The Southeast Asian scene brought it to the forefront of drafting and the meta. Then came the Nyx and the Sand King. But I'll bring back the Afu Slardar here, minus armor galore, amplifies up Medusa's kind of minimal damage. She does like to tank up and build into, you know, blade mail, just to try and reverse some of the damage that comes her way. As Clinks, obviously, pretty obvious there, the natural synergy between Clinks and Slardar. But a nice kind of rounded lineup here, a bit of split push, bit of team fight action, lots and lots of physical damage is the big thing here from LFY, but also they're tanky. So, Ice Blast, with the nuke damage from Queen of Pain, may not be enough to kill them off. May not be enough to kill them off. How are the lanes panning out? This is game number 2. LFY looking to shut this series out. LGD want to try and bring it back to even. FY, Magnus in the off lane, maybe mid-quap. Everything standard as Victoria blocks the middle lane for the Queen of Pain. Lovely friendly teammate, Victoria. Nice job. Bottom lane's going to be the AA and the Terrorblade, and they'll be facing up against the Inflame Puck. Well, it will be just Super in the mid lane. Afu with the brown boots on the Slardar, going to be trying to track down Victoria's Earth Spirit. And it looks like if Afu swings over this way, he'll probably spot Victoria. Nah, Victoria, he swings back down. He's not going to get spotted. He's not going to get scouted. He's ready with a roll. Wants to jump in onto Super. And he will do so. There's the initiation. Afu comes across, looks for the crush. Victoria will get stunned up and takes a lot of damage in return. This is actually pretty disastrous. Is this first blood? This is a lot of right clicks coming in. Victoria survives. The Shadow Strike onto Afu. Makes sure to deter him and shove him back behind the Medusa instead of chasing down Victoria's Earth Spirit. Just going to tango up here behind the Queen of Pain. But last hit wise, Quap already 3 and 2. Medusa going to struggle a little bit in this lane. Just going to be tanky, annoying, leech some experience and try and trade as much farm as you can. Very, very hard to kill. Bottom lane, oh, Inflame. Takes a chunk of damage there from the Terrorblade Metamorphosis. And it looks like a cold feet from Yao. But they've got help coming in on the way. Afu, here's the crush, starts things off. Illusory Orb ready, in onto the AA. Forward, and Inflame gets your first blood. A little bit of chip damage onto Arme, but the cold feet doesn't latch onto Afu. So this aggressive move from the Slardar pays off massively for LFY as they start things off with a bang. Top lane, they do have Monet, Clinks, and DDC on the Oracle, trying to deal with FY Magnus. Looking to drag this wave back, collect the bounty rune, but probably going to miss out on it. Oracle shoves him all the way back and away from the bounty rune. Fortune's End there will just chip away at his HP a bit. Pops another tango, he'll be fine. Bottom rune spot, Afu. He finds a haste. He goes in, Victoria. Has an Orb of Venom. But Afu has his crush. He steals the bounty rune as well. You absolute beast. Yeah, you're a nuisance. You're a pest. Stop it. Annoying little Slardar. Double bounty rune even. Goes and takes the offlane one at the same time. Great, great beginnings here. Already level 2. Still level 1 on the Earth Spirit, but Queen of Pain, this lane is always going to go your way. Like we said, the Medusa basically is here to leech experience and not die. We'll try and scale up as the game progresses, but maybe Queen of Pain should have a very, very good lane.
Denied.
My bad, my bad. I fixed it. My bad. Last hits are up, but I did forget the overlay. Oh well. It didn't block too much, guys. It didn't block too much. Lane's going decently for LGD. Even with that first blood, they're still farming very, very nicely. Terrorblade leading the charge with the Queen of Pain ahead of the Clinks by quite a significant margin. And then you look at this Magnus also farming very nicely. Back in the jungle with his Quelling Blade and level 2 Empower. Getting a ton of gold here as the Cold Feet won't quite latch onto Inflame. He turns back with a couple of punches into Yao. And he's got his boots already on the puck, so should be pretty good. Queen of Pain in onto Super. Mana Shield turned on and off, trying to bait maybe in a little bit there, but DDC purges off the Shadow Strike, like we were saying during the draft. Oh, bottom lane, they get the kill on the puck as the aggression mid lane dissipated. They came in with an Earth Spirit roll and silence, and I love this, I love this. Chinese teams have been doing this a lot. Earth Spirit with, oh, maybe. Jumps in and kills off the freaking Medusa now. The Fortune's End in onto the Queen of Pain. DD Slardar with the crush, landing in Illusio forward, and they get a kill for DDC. Taking down maybe's Queen of Pain. Earth Spirits in China against offlane puck in particular have been going this 0-1-1 build where they get the instant silence and then roll in with the boulder they pull towards them. With the stone, or remnant they pull towards them rather. And pretty much secure them a kill as long as they have another stun. Roll forward onto Super, not going to latch from Victoria. Super 7-3, definitely struggling pretty massively. Even Inflame's puck, very few last hits, thanks to the Terrorblade Metamorphosis. Shall I bring back the overlay now, guys? Shall I bring it back? Is that what you want? Yeah? Okay. We'll see what we can do. Put back the overlay as long as LFY are losing. Okay. They're not losing just yet, so roll in. A little bit of a scream there. Somnus does get the damage in onto Super, and the Fortune's End, no mana for it for DDC. He used the Fate's Edict and the heal. It's going to burn through a lot of the mana here from Super, but they've got the Shrine available, so it's going to be all hunky-dory. It's all going to be fine. But these lanes are absolutely smashing from LGD. Absolutely destroying. I mean, Magnus, is he just farming? He's just farming jungle, right? That's how he has so many last hits. I think about 16 of these are jungle creeps, to be perfectly honest. The vast majority, like 3/4 of these are jungle creeps for sure. Like, what's his net worth actually? Where are we sitting? 1,800. Yeah, he's only 300 ahead of the puck, and last hit wise for the puck, doubling up on. Yeah, so those are jungle creeps. Yao bottom lane finished off by Inflame, so that's gonna boost the puck's net worth by just a touch, bring it a little bit closer to that of the Magnus as the TB comes in yet again with a Metamorphosis from Ame, clearing up the Slardar. I will need to start getting this Clinks up and running as soon as they possibly can, though. It's 7 minutes in. As soon as we see the Clinks hit level 7, possibly with the Blightstone Soul Ring, start to rotate around. Apply a little bit of pressure to this kind of bottom half of the map into the Radiant jungle. Look for kills on the Terrorblade as he maybe shifts off the lane. I do need to bring some more heroes in as well at the same time. Tranquils on Slardar gives him that movement speed advantage over the majority of the heroes here on the Radiant team. Only Brand Boots on this Earth Spirit so far, but a really great Radiant Observer Ward. Hang on a second. Even during nighttime. That's a really cool ward. Even during nighttime, you can actually see up on top of this bit here near the shrine. I like that. I'm going to use that now. I've not seen that before. Mid lane, maybe, has been Fortune's Ended. Blinks forward. Arfu trying to cut off the retreat. You know, so many angles for maybe to blink away to that it was difficult to actually find an avenue of attack. But yeah, this Observer Ward, very often we see one, you know, placed up here somewhere. This is obviously the most common one, and you see Observer Wards on shrines. But this specific one here, wow, that's really nice. Actually, let's see during the daytime. What do we see during day? Exactly the same? Yeah. Exactly the same. Just the very, very edge of that ramp going up into the shrine. Well, overall, how are we doing level-wise? Earthspirit's still down at the bottom, level 3. He's got his 1-1-1, so he'll still be able to be relevant in these fights and ganks. 8 on the Quap. A couple of level 7s. Terrorblade's still at 6, but he's had some experience leached away from him by his team. Fortune's End comes out. Cold Feet's gone, but Puck is still going to die here with the damage output of LGD so damn huge. Terrorblade, 165 right-click attack damage there. Disgusting. As they clear up in flame once more. Soul Ring's done, so his farm rate still going to be relatively decent. Moving into the treads. Super struggling. Still in this mid lane. 2200 net worth. A good 1600 behind that of the Queen of Pain. Dangerous, dangerous territory they're standing in. But like we know, Monet on this Clinks is going to be the real linchpin hero here for them, along with Afu. Looking to control up the map as we get ourselves closer to that 10-minute mark. And he will be going for the, looks like the Deso Rush, actually. Not going to be a medallion from him. Maybe leaving that to the Slardar or the Oracle. Slardar appears he's going to be rushing into the Blink. What does this mean? Dian now, your Dian Wenti. I don't know what this means. My Chinese is very limited. Can someone translate, please? Chat, could you, Halde? What does this mean? No one is saying Kala or Jayo. I don't see anything like this. Who's pinging? What's going on? Yeah, there's no shrine here. On cooldown for 2 minutes. 7.07 ward vision reduced by 10. What, just to nerf this observer ward? What is this ward? That's a very good question. Orbital Decay, inscribed enchanted vision. Yeah, so a lot of the Chinese players have really sick observer wards and items because there were a couple of bugs that happened or that were available about 2 or 3 years ago where you could put certain gems onto items that weren't allowed to have gems, basically. That's why you have, what is it, Nature's Prophet and Tusk? There's a couple of players with Nature's Prophet and Tusk, and I can't remember what it's called, but they kind of fade in and out of existence. Like, when they attack, you can see, like, a shadow of the animation as the animation is happening, so it kind of obfuscates what's going on. There's a couple of weird items out there like that that are a little bit wonky and a little bit, I don't want to say pay to win, but I'm not sure how I like them in competitive games. Regardless, it's a different topic for a different day. Items and economics of items are very, very weird conversation, to be honest. Probably not my area of expertise either. So what's the next plan of attack for LGD? They've won 2 out of their 3 lanes pretty damn hard. Mid lane and bot lane going very well for them, and even the Magnus, Arcanes and Iron Talon, his Blink Dagger is going to be here at a really quick rate, actually. We're looking at, what, 13.5, 14-minute Blink Dagger or something if he continues with this farm rate. Right, where's the translation? Computer problems. Computer has problem. Thank you. Love you guys. Well done, chat. Who needs Google Translate when I have Twitch chat to tell me exactly what's happening? Look at you. There's loads of you. Everyone knows what's going on. Am I the only one that doesn't know? It means throw the game fast. Dian now means computer. And then Yo Dian Wenti means has a problem, I guess. Okay. Cool. Yao Wenti means have problem. Thank you. I'm learning. Today I learned some Chinese. Right, away we go. Ah, oh, hello. Okay, right, what does this mean now? Looks like someone's still having a few little issues. So yeah, next plan of attack. Veil will be done soon on the Queen of Pain. Actually, can maybe kill Super here. 1 stick charge, raindrops. has 2 points in the mana shield. Not going to go for it there. Super does back up. They had Arfu rotating in as well, so it would have been a very, very risky aggressive play from maybe to go for that. Holds back a little bit. Arme with this Metamorphosis wearing off in about 10 seconds. Maybe he can hit the tower 3 or 4 times, but goes back. Falls to the jungle instead. And that's basically just because all of... Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, Clinks is missing. All of these heroes are not showing on the map. Medusa was the only one actually showing to a creep wave mid lane. Clinks and Slardar were both across here in the jungle. And now, yeah, 10 minutes in, Clinks is making the rotation. Soaring, Blightstone, just as we expected. We'll be moving forward and looking for a bit of an aggressive play mid lane. The trouble is the disables that they do lack. Killing Queen of Pain is not the easiest of propositions. 10-minute rune. Ooh, spawns bottom. Going to be an arcane here for DDC if he decides to take it, and he will. Now, Victoria lurks around with the Terrorblade and Queen of Pain near this middle lane. A good scan from the Dire, though. Understanding that there has been this shift, the dynamic has moved across towards mid, into the Radiant jungle. Pretty classic, 10 minutes in, the Terrorblade goes away, gives the AA a little bit of room to try and leech that level 6 as Clinks. Ooh, shifts in. Do they have a stun? The Dream Coil is there. Perfect! Inflame gets it just in time, and that will be the first kill that the Clinks gets involved in, and maybe they can shift this into a tier 1 with a Catapult and a Blightstone. This will be a significant amount of structural damage in onto the tier 1 tower there, and there doesn't look like there's going to be much of a trade here from the Radiant. Xiao Deng means wait a little while. Thank you. Sick. Magnus, what are we, 11 minutes in, and he's 800 gold away. Yeah, it's going to be a 13.5, 14-minute Blink Dagger. Going to be huge. So there goes the tier 1. Now the pressure comes in. They will be able to maybe levy a little bit of influence in this Radiant jungle. They've got a good Dar Observer Ward already down. 2, in fact, as well. This one will expire in just a little while. Killing Queen of Pain is still a big, big problem for them, though. They need this Slardar Blink. He's getting close to it as well. Pretty same, well, very similar timing here to the Magnus, of course. He didn't go for the Tranquil Boots. Does have lower net worth. Doesn't need them, though. Arfu gonna be farming away like a madman, but he's hit his level 6, so they have the amplified damage combination now, not just with the Clinks, but the Medusa. The Medusa does such little damage and has, where are you? Yeah, middle of the table net worth, 3.2k, only just buys the treads. Definitely need that amp damage to make the Medusa relevant at this point. As Inflame sticks around bottom lane, has a TP scroll if anything untowards happens in any of these other lanes. Super getting eyed up here by the TB and the AA, but they are yet to have the Ice Blast. Still don't have that big ulti that they kind of need to secure these kills. They will just shift back down towards bottom lane. The roll into Silence starts things off on Inflame. With a Boulder Smash there, and Queen of Pain actually looking to arrive. Inflame goes for the TP. Sneaky Devil. Maybe falls for the bait, jumps for the orb. But Inflame, he outplays them all. The cutest Chinese player in the scene. One of the smartest as well. Hero levels. Yeah. AA level 5, ES level 5. They need to get these supports up to level 6 because all of the Dire heroes have theirs ready and available. Force Promise, probably one of the more important ones. DDC will be able to save anyone that's jumped on here by an Earth Spirit Queen of Pain. But how do you get AA to level 6? Yao doesn't have a safe lane to go to. That's why this tier 1 tower was so important, because AA loves to sit in here and just, you know, leech experience, allow the wave to come up to the tower, maybe get a couple of creep kills, force it back, but not too hard. Let it come back to your tier 1, and you just have this constant flow of experience.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh, this smoke from the Radiant, RP from FY. Blink wasn't used, so he misses it completely. Now in comes Monet, clears up Yao. The Stone Gaze is there, Magnus skewers back. Arfu, he chases on forward. They're going to get this kill as well. LGD, what have you done?
A soldier's fortune.
Oh dear. I don't think anything cancelled his blink, because I clicked on him straight away and he didn't have any, oh god. Ice blast onto Arfu, Victoria gonna chase this one down. I don't know if he ticks to this, he shouldn't, right? He should be fine, yeah, he's okay just to walk it all off. But man, oh man, that... He didn't get his blink cancelled, he just didn't blink before RP. Very unfortunate for FY. I guess unfortunate's the wrong word. Just a bit of a mistake. Players are human though, that's what you got to remember. Mistakes do happen, especially in high octane situations like this where that RP is meant to secure you, a 3-4 man RP or something up on this high ground and you just slam through them with a sonic wave, but wasn't to be. LFY instead get themselves a couple of kills. Clink's now up to 6k net worth, the Deso 800 gold away, and Blink from Slardar's here actually. Now jump in, they found the Quap and that's what they need, that's what they needed. Exactly as we thought, Blink from Slardar, that is the opening, that is the key to unlock the kills on Queen of Pain. Maybe loses his life, a bunch of money back into the Clinks again, moving closer and closer to that Desolator, which is going to absolutely rip them to shreds. Looking at Arme though, he's gone for the Masked Manus, his signature item on the Terrorblade, into the Manta style next. He does a lot of damage at a very, very fast rate. But with this Star Observer Ward scouting out the AA, the Earth Spirit, and potentially the Magnus, the Dire team, they just shove into this tier 1 middle lane. DDC sits behind Super. There's the Blade Mail, and yeah, he's going to move into the Aghanim Scepter. Exactly as we thought. Against an Illusion carry, Blade Mail Ags. Pretty much stock standard for Chinese Dota now at this point. As Earth Spirit does get the denial in. Just to remove a bit of gold there. Terrorblade. His Metamorphosis is about to run out. This Invis from the Slardar. They've got the stun, they've got the amplify damage, and they've got the Clinks nearby. 1, 2, 3, punch Sunder's there. Swaps it back. Arfu gave a little bit of respite to the Terrorblade. Tried to get far enough away, but that Sunder range was incredibly long. Oh, who's this? Just maybe. Queen of Pain blinking forward aggressively, harassing back Super, making sure he knows who's boss. I beat you in lane as my Queen of Pain. Don't think that you're going to run around here and owning this lane anymore, even though you've taken my tier 1. You still have yours. Setting up for something on top lane now though. Puck does have a blink, orbs back, but the Earth Spirit potentially could roll in here and find a silence, but the blink fast from Inflame up to the north. Finds the distance. And LGD will not get a kill. As they shifted, well, 5 heroes pretty much up towards the top third of the map. Dangerous territory though for LGD. They need to keep placing these sentries out, but they also need the sentry observer pairings. And I don't... Oh, they do. Okay, I guess that's a sentry observer pairing there. Yeah, they need... So against the Clinks, against Nyx Assassin, these Invis heroes that like to scout you out, but can also set up for these potential kills from across the map. Clinks just runs into your jungle and maybe finds a support. You need an observer ward and a sentry, so you have this, kind of sphere of vision, or I guess a circle of vision, where you can see, especially around entry points, the angles at which Clinks is entering. But this move here from LFY, actually swinging through the jungle up towards the high ground, Terrorblade Illusion, does move across towards the east, but maybe he's the Queen of Pain standing on the low ground. In comes the damage. Oh, the Clinks finds the kill. Out jumps the Puck with an illusory orb, gets the nuke damage in and jumps immediately back out. They will now shove this middle lane as Super tries to clear some of these TB illusions. But LGD, even with a couple of heroes in the vicinity to try and save the Queen of Pain, they just weren't fast enough. Queen of Pain dies that quickly. TB finishes off the Manta style there. Going to be very, very important against the puck. That waning rift, so annoying.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Actually pushing middle lane alone. This feels like a very obvious bait though. Armate moves towards the tier 1. They're pinging him out, but behind him, 4 heroes of smoke moving up towards this high ground. But the Observer Ward and the blink away from Arfu means that nothing's going to happen. Victoria has dust, but won't use it just yet. FY is looking potentially for a blink RP, but he's been pinged out. They know exactly where he is. Again, this Observer Ward sees him move in towards the trees. This high ground advantage means nothing if LFY are going to shift their momentum, shift their weight up towards the north. In comes Clinks. They do have a sentry. What's the range on this? If Clinks gets a little bit closer, oh, I think they know. He just went invis. Yeah, this Observer Ward spotted him go back invis. He moves forward. Yow. Oh, he's a big target. But they've got the tier 1 and LGD should just retreat away. Leg forward, Clinks into the Queen of Pain. Amplified damage dispelled, and the Yule Scepter will buy a bit of time here from Maybe as he collects an illusion rune and refills his bottle. But in the meantime, In Flame has just been shoving bot lane into tier 1, tier 2. Doing a lot of damage here. I have to come back and address this, and we are still yet to see a blink RP from FY. They need to get this guy up and running. Moving into the Shadow Blade next. And power of the Terror Blade is a wonderful thing, amplifying all of that damage up pretty massively. But if you don't land your spells, it doesn't mean all that much. Roshan time potentially for LFY. It is being pinged out here by the Radiant. This smoke in towards the pit, it's a big old bait. Illusion comes in. Terror Blade is like, guys, are you in here? We'll move away now. The bait doesn't attract any targets. They don't get anyone biting. Instead, they will move down again to the Radiant jungle, looking for the Terror Blade as he's farming. These Observe Wards show that he's not over in this western side of the map taking these camps. So they kind of expect Terror Blade to be somewhere around here, but he was at these Ancients, and he will just return back towards the top lane, making sure he is not going to be caught by anyone. At long last, Medusa has some items. Super has been farming all game. Had an absolutely atrocious laning stage. I think at one point maybe was 22 and 10, and Super had maybe 10 and 3. You know, he was getting doubled up on in last hits and then like tripled up on in denies. It really was a tragic fare, but we knew what was going to happen. That was how the lane was meant to go. Super just sits there and soaks up the damage, makes sure he doesn't die too often. You know, 1 death to his name. Pretty good against that aggressive lane of Earth Spirit, Queen of Pain. And now you've got some items. Now you've got Ags to deal with the TB illusions with that snake of yours. You've got Blade Mail to reflect that damage coming in from the Queen of Pain. But you're also a tanky monster, so an RP isn't going to be able to finish you off. In comes the RP now. Catching the puck, but there's the false promise. Ice Blast will land. Arfu turns back. There's the Thunder onto Monet. A good boulder smash comes in as well. But here's the Stone Gaze coming out from Super. Trying to turn it back onto Armade, who has already used his ulti. So Terrorblade dies. Up onto the high ground. FY, no, he's dead. Killed off by Monet. The final Searing Arrows clears up yet another kill. This is going to be disastrous for LGD. The buyback from Arfu will secure them the Roshan straight away as well. Immediately shifting from a 3-kill team fight into the Roshan pit for that Roshan. And LGD, what happened? It looked good. But the trouble is, it was a 2-man RP onto a Slardar puck, a 2-man Ice Blast, again, onto a Slardar puck, and the puck was hit by the False Promise. So all they did was kill the Slardar. All they did was kill poor little Arfu. The slippery Slardar, who is being his little annoying, oh dearie me, waning rift into stun. Is this a dead Queen of Pain? Has the Yule Scepter and a blink available. 16 stick charges, 17 stick charges even. Maybe gets up into the jungle, but doesn't have a TP scroll. Hides in one little spot where you can't be found, jumps over to the east, but this is inevitably going to be the end of Maybe. A couple of hits here from Clinks, 1, 2, 3, no, the Snake, the Fortune's End, the Orb flying across as well. The Queen of Pain is still hiding in the trees. Do you give up on this, or do you try and find the kill? Another blink across to the east. He's got to go all the way back to the Dire base to find a TP. Surely you just say, screw it, you've wasted enough time. Go and push out some lanes, but In Flame really, really wants to kill Maybe. Courier flies up ahead, there's the Jaunt with the Waning Rift, and they finally bring down the Queen of Pain. They don't expend 5 heroes to do it. Just the 2 will do, as the rest of them move down the lanes. Try and push these back across the river and apply some pressure to the tier 2s that, well, I guess tier 1 is still standing top lane, but tier 2 mid could take a bit of chip damage. Radiant, after respawning, shift towards the bottom lane. Nice little bit of a go here on the puck, but the self-mules and the phase shift available. The silence won't land. An orb and a jaunt away will be enough to save in flame, but they'll take the tier 1. Arme clears up that tower.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
RP, a solo one. Okay, fair enough. You killed the puck. Well done. There we go. FY. I mean, honestly, that may look weird, but that is a huge morale boost. That is like, honestly, if anyone knows, you know, Magnus players or people who focus on Magnus, I've talked to Arise about this. I've talked to a bunch of people who love the hero, but they know how hit and miss it can be. If you don't land a good RP and, you know, within the first couple of minutes of getting your Blink Dagger, he got this Blink Dagger at what, 14, 15? 10 minutes later, that's the first real RP that he's been able to actually land and secure a good kill. The one up at the shrine here, of course, he did miss out on. The one down here was a decent enough RP, but it wasn't the one that they were looking for. But getting that RP there on Inflame, that morale boost, that's gonna get the adrenaline going. That's gonna get FY into this game. Goodbye, Earth Spirit. Absolutely obliterated. Ceases to exist as Inflame and Arfu pair up nicely to bring him down. LGD. And next step, win a team fight around Roshan because this Aegis of the Immortal on the Clinks is going to give them a lot of problems. I don't know if they can really defend tier 2 top. Dire should be moving their way over there, so Radiant, if they understand this, will look to either smoke and wrap around and make a play up here. The line is drawn saying that Super should make the move up towards top lane. But does LGD have a smoke? They do on the AA. But if they want to make a play, they have to make sure mid lane is pushed out to kind of this area here onto the enemy ramp. They need the Queen of Pain to have a TP as well. Maybe, it's going to be quick about this. If they want to do anything top lane, maybe has to immediately go and buy a TP scroll. But it looks like they're just going to give up on this. Dire Observer Ward now sees the Earth Spirit showing down in that Radiant jungle area, and tier 2's gone. There was no real play to be made. They did all of the right moves, but just not fast enough.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
A little bit of a battle here. Maybe he's just going to blink TP away. You can see how strong that Mystic Snake is now with a little bit of a stone gaze on it with the Aghanim Scepter. Incredibly potent. And TB's not going to like it either. Illusions, both from Manta and his Conjure Image, are going to get absolutely shreked by it. AA is close to 50 gold per minute. Oh, jeez. Come on, guys. It's 129 gold per minute. Don't be rude. It's still pretty bad. Don't be rude. Show us the courier. That's a donkey. Oh, dear lord. What the freaking hell is this? Unusual Jin and Yin Fox Spirits. Or I've seen that courier before, but I've not seen the Trail of Burning Doom and Creator's Light. That's some pretty cool effects on it. Pretty cool courier there, DDC. I wonder how much that one cost you. LFY prepping for a smoke maneuver from LGD here, just making sure they're grouped up in one area. Not grouped up, not clumped up. Got to be very clear with the difference there. Making sure that they have, a sector of the map where they have high ground advantage on ramps that they can hold, that they have sentries in place for any kind of invis shenanigans coming in from, a Magnus with a Shadow Blade, for instance. But not clumped up where they've got 5 heroes in an area here. So, they spread out, they make sure that they've got their angles covered, but they're not going to get hit by a big 5-man RP or something. pretty simple textbook stuff from LFY. Good observer wards out as well, at least one of them now, as a few of them have expired by now. Up on the top lane, decent smoke area, but also somewhere that Queen of Pain would like to shift momentum while farming jungle and moving up towards the lane. Maybe even the Terrorblade could do the same. Here comes a smoke from LGD though. LFY maybe not expecting this one. They haven't seen any LGD heroes in quite some time, just TB illusions at the middle lane. RP at the ready here with a blink. They're going to go for the skewer, but FY just a little off the mark this time. So another wasted maneuver there from LGD, not going to accomplish anything. And LFY exploiting this by splitting the map, farming very efficiently. Lincoln Sphere very close to completion here from the puck. Really, Terrorblade is the one saving grace for LGD. If Arme can keep himself alive in his team fight, he can do a lot of damage. Especially into that RP. Oh dear lord. Yeah, Victoria, he was there a second ago. Thought maybe they were looking for something a bit deeper, but the puck jumped on with the RP. There's the skewer back, an inflame phase shift, and you also at the ready. Has an orb and a shift, the blink and the stun. Arfu gets in there. Tries to save the puck, and honestly, looks like it's worked as well. Shockwave dodge. Has another blink, and puck dream coils and blinks away. In flame. You cheeky little bugger. Good TP out from FY, equally as skillful. Gets himself out of danger, but In flame really should have died there. That's Magnus RP. Used for nothing in return.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
At the very least, Queen of Pain's going to find Arfu. Big sonic wave there, catching him. Manta Star out from the super. Trying to dodge anything he possibly can with the Yules, sending him up into the air with the Blade Mail. Now the turn. In comes the Waning Rift from the buck. Good little snake there. Does slow them down. Terrorblade wanted to get into action. Slow onto this Super Medusa though with the Diffusal Blade, and now the skewer back, bringing it into the cold feet, and down he goes with Oracle also falling. That's a good team fight from LGD. 3 people from LFY, all going to die. The Clinks was nowhere to be seen. That was all without an RP. To be fair, that was near a shrine, and that was LFY kind of dying one by one. LGD expend a couple of ultimates, but they'll show into this tier 2, get themselves some gold, but more importantly, map control around this middle lane. Access into the jungle, access around this Roshan pit is starting to dwindle here for the Dire.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And now damage in onto the tier 3. With no glyph available, LFY, they're in some trouble. Actually, the blink forward and a stun. Arfu's caught, nearly brought down. A couple more hits will be able to secure this one. Maybe going in deep, looking for the kill and finds it as well. The buyback available from the Slardar. But you look at these barracks, they're dropping incredibly quickly. Tier 3 has gone. Arme needs to start focusing buildings if they want to take them, but they'll back up just a little bit. Soul Ring ready from the Magnus, but he's got no mana. Really for a blink RP just yet without using it. The jump forward from the puck, looking for a catch, but won't be able to get anyone just now. Yule Scepter from Inflame could maybe solo down this Ancient Apparition. RP cancelled out there, the miss uphill. Inflame face shift now has a Yule Scepter also, but Magnus with a potential RP. Inflame's in trouble. Is he going to die? There's the face shift. Blinks away. Inflame is toying with his food, and oh, they get the RP, but then what now? What now? Phase shift? Oh dear. Has another orb, has a blink. This blink's gonna be ready. This blink's gonna be ready. You can phase shift an orb again. TP away. Oh, one hit, dead! Arme gets the kill. Arme does get the kill eventually, but the puck is toying with his food. Doesn't get the kill on the Ancient Apparition, I don't think. Yao did manage to TP back to base, but LFY lost tier 3. Not too much damage on these racks. As Arme's TB didn't actually move to focus them down, instead cleared the creep wave. But that's a good little thing for LGD going on there. What are we looking at now? That 7,000 net worth lead from LFY drops to about 2,000, a 5k swing. And 11-5 LGD, they are finding themselves a way back into this game. And Magnus hits that 10k net worth mark at long last. Dual Scepter, done and done after the Shadow Blade. Not going for the BKB or the Force Staff, but Dual Scepter here to get out of the things like the Waning Rift, dispel off the amplified damage as well. Bottom lane might be in trouble. Arfu trying to farm his blink, his Force Staff after that Blink Dagger, but he's going to get found here with a Blink Forward, the Shiver's Guard. It does connect, and the Dual Scepter's here. Combo everything up absolutely beautifully. Ice Blast, a little unnecessary, but you want to make damn sure that the Slardar dies.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
There goes another tier 2. What is your high ground defense like, LFY? Medusa Stone Gaze, Puck Dream Call. You do have a fair number of tools at your disposal, but the Clinks cuts a wave down at the bottom lane.
Dire's top shrine is under attack. Dire's top shrine has fallen.
We're yet to see a big save by DDC. He's had a bit of a struggle this game, not really doing so well on the net worth. Even the Ancient Apparition has overtaken him at this point. What are we looking at now? Medallion moving into the Solar Crest for Yao. It would be nice to have a Glimmer Cape over on DDC, but he's not going to get there, is he? Very, very poor on the Oracle. Did just see a Butterfly close to completion for the Medusa. Only the Talisman of Evasion to get there. Going to be able to handle... No, he's not actually, because there's an MKB on Arme. So you're not going to be able to handle the Terrorblade, because MKB is done before your Butterfly is even complete. How very unfortunate. LGD FY against LFY, who are also LGD FY. Things start to get a bit confusing there. Move up onto the high ground, and you get the nice little RP skewer onto the Medusa, blown up. Medusa's dead for 80 seconds. Is this an opening now to take Rax? Maybe still. Caught there. Aegis is gone, and Monet stands his ground and nearly blows up the Earth Spirit. But Arme moves forward. Illusions are popped. Monet, he did get the kill on Victoria. Was that the Orchid? That was the Soulburn popping. But the Rax have fallen. This time they fall quickly. I said they fall quickly last time, but I was wrong. This time they fall quickly with a Sonic Wave. Lined up here from maybe not going to throw it. They kill Slardar off the old-fashioned way with punches. Nice little bit of a bare-fisted boxing match there as Puck jumps in now, orbs out. Just trying to keep yourself on the outskirts of the fight, and LGD will retreat now as Metamorphosis starts to wear off. Tier 3 still stands top lane, but you lost one full lane of Rax here as LFY. You need to find something more from this. Try and force a team fight with Earth Spirit down, but your Medusa, with no buyback, gone for so long, was trying to save up and finish off the Butterfly. May have been a mistake.
Invisibility.
A bounty which my matriarch will prize.
Oh, Yao actually gets his Solar Crest done. Look at him! Look at Yao, he's got an item! Oh, how happy you are as a 5-roll support when you finish an item. He's not, like, the thing is, he's not got Arcanes or Tranquils or even a full Magic Wand. It's just a Magic Stick. So having a Solar Crest, you're like, yes. Exactly 1000 HP. Aesthetic as hell. Not 1001, not 1002. Here's the Yules onto Dusa. Can they start a fight? The Blink Waning Rift. 2-man coil in from Inflame. Victoria tries to roll away, but the Medusa comes in with a stone gaze now, and LGD, they dissipate, they disengage, they look now to jump in. Good boulder smash out from the Earth Spirit, but here comes Queen of Pain looking for a different kill. Arfu, he can't crush, he can't do anything. They've got to retreat. Here comes the Sonic Wave lined up with the Ice Path as well. The Blade Mail returns a bit of the damage, but Super, Force Prize finally from DDC will keep the Medusa alive, at least for now. So they run away from the Oracle will mean that FY misses his RP again. Inflame rejoins the fight. They come on through, but that's the Oracle down. Great fight for LFY as they force LGD away from their base. But you've got to say that FY on this Magnus has been a little bit of a disappointment. He has been letting us down with these RPs. He's missed 2 completely, absolutely whiffing them. Has had a couple of decent ones though. He was the force that led to that nice little tier 3 and racks in the middle lane. LFY, they're holding on though. 1 lane of racks is no big deal. They have a Medusa. They have a Clinks and a Puck to clear these waves out. Clinks does need to keep himself relevant though. Can't share all of this farm between 3 cores, which is something that sometimes you struggle with if you are running a 3-core lineup and not just a 2. I guess Inflame maybe shifts down a little bit behind the Clicks in that farm priority, but needs to get to level 25 for that GPM talent, and then you can start seeing the Puck give away some of the creeps in the lane farm back to the Medusa and the Clinks. Also, buying some moon shards for his team would be good. We're going to go for a refresher for FY, so when he misses his first RP, he can just refresh and then miss his second one. Inflame's doing a pretty decent job here at just keeping this bottom lane as close to the enemy base as possible, so they have to come back and address it, but TB Illusions will do a superb job at just clearing out waves. Meanwhile, are they going to smoke? They don't have any on them. They did group up as though they were going to try and make a play towards the top lane. Maybe a bit afraid that there are some observables that have been placed down by the Dire team. Roll on forward. Inflame's out though. Rotating for this Puck has been such a difficult task for LGD that Inflame has been toying with them. 7, 4, and 7, role-playing as a Boeing. Inflame is going to fly around in through this Dire jungle. Doing a perfectly good job. He must have gone the 10% spell amplification, so this Dagon, as you start leveling it up, is going to start doing insane amounts of damage. Also, pretty good against the TB Illusions, just zapping them down. With the next Roshan respawning in 2 minutes. What is that, 1 minute 40? 1 minute 40. That's going to be the next big contest between these two teams. Who's going to come out on top though? FY goes invis, starts shifting forward. Victoria with a TB Illusion also readily available, but LFY smoke to the low ground. There's the RP! FY, he's found them. The damage is there and maybe clears them up with forward investment. Looks for DDC, that's 3 down. The 4th to fall, and Monet's the only one alive. GG is called. FY drops the my bad, you sarcastic bastard. He lands the RP that wins the game after missing a couple. That's worth it. That's worth it. Retribution from LGD. Tying things up 1-1. FY. There we go, my son. Absolutely gorgeous. Great RP. Great RP. So that's it. 1-1 in this best of 3. We're going to get ourselves into game number 3 coming up in just a little bit. We'll go to a break. Hopefully you guys are enjoying all of this. I'm glad you're tuning in. We'll see you guys in just a little bit.